Hey, and welcome to the Bachelorette Diaries. I am Erica I am, and I am so glad that you are tuned in to join us. Today's video is Help, I'm drawn to emotionally unavailable people. Help, I am drawn to emotionally unavailable people. Now, what does that mean? That means you are typically attracted to the type of people that really can't offer you what it is that you want. Now, this could be stability, commitment. Maybe you are marriage focused. The entire focus of the Bachelorette Diaries is for an audience that does believe in marriage and even aspires to be married. So imagine you're dating somebody that doesn't believe in marriage, or imagine courting someone that has commitment issues. That is what this video is about. It is such a thing as people have types. Like, we typically pick the same type of people when it comes to dating, and that's because there are certain personalities that mesh well with yours. There are certain behaviors and patterns that you begin to enjoy, and so when you're looking for a new mate, typically we look for those traits and those things that we enjoy. What sucks about that is, just as we have familiar interests and we're kind of drawn to familiar spirits and character, it also brings in the same bad fruit. Meaning, if you're attracted to a certain type of guy, let's say ladies, you're attracted to a pretty boy. Typically pretty boys are players. So if you're attracted to a certain thing, most times that certain thing brings in a certain flaw or a certain problem. And so we find ourselves constantly frustrated with the problem, but we're not looking at the process. How did we end up in this mess in the first place? It was because we chose someone that could not, or chose not to choose us in return. So that's why today's video is Help, I am attracted to emotionally unavailable people. I'll tell you from experience, I have, to God be the glory, but I've been there where it's like they were magnets to me. I felt that you may not love anybody else, but you'll love me, or I could change your mind, or I'm great, you'll see. And that doesn't work. That's just unfair. It's unfair to me, it's unfair to the other individual, it's unfair to everybody involved, because at the end of the day, if a person is not ready for a relationship, or if it's not something they desire, you can't make them want it. You can't make someone want to exercise who doesn't want to exercise. You can't make somebody eat cookies who doesn't eat sugar. You can't make somebody eat meat who decided they are a vegetarian. And the same thing applies in these relationships. We can't go into these relationships expecting people to bend over backwards and romance us to death and marry us and give us their absolute best if that's not their focus. If it's not their goal, it's never going to happen. So I'm here to give you just a few ideas and tips on how you can overcome this. And I want to talk also a little bit about the root of this. A lot of times when we grow up, let's say you have maybe older parents, maybe you have absent parents, maybe your parents passed away, maybe they divorced, maybe you only knew one of your parents, maybe you had issues making friends, but somehow in your childhood years, maybe you have developed a pattern of, you were put in situations where maybe you didn't feel wanted, or maybe the kind of love you received was conditional. Like maybe they were okay with you as long as you were doing a certain thing. But whatever it is, maybe all of these different experiences in life have left you scarred to a certain extent. And those scars show in the form of you being attracted to things that hurt you, things that are not good for you. Because if we're real about it, that's one of the effects of trauma. Trauma teaches you to love the wrong things. It teaches you to be comfortable with the wrong things. It teaches you to yearn for the wrong things. Being a survivor of an abusive relationship, I know that in that relationship, although it was dangerous and it was detrimental for me, there was a part of me that was addicted to it because it was a pattern. I was used to it. I could predict it goes this way, then it goes that way, and then this happens. And so sometimes when we allow life to give us its own ideas of what we should accept, and we get comfortable in those patterns, we then begin picking partners that are no good for us, that don't bring anything good for us, or that only pull out the worst in us. Meaning, there is some situations that maybe you're a person who doesn't use profanity, but there are certain type of characters and certain type of personalities that you interact with, and because you clash, before you know it, you're having a cursing match. So it's up to you to protect your peace. It's up to you to make sure that you are avoiding situations that turn you into the person that you no longer want to be. So a part of that for me was detaching from relationships where we're not going the same way. I'm headed to Paris, you're headed to Hawaii. That's two different airlines, it's two different directions. We can't get to the same destination. One of us will have to sacrifice. And I always speak about how it's unfair for that. Like, we speak of sacrifice and of compromise in relationships, And I agree with that to a certain extent. I believe that as humans and individuals, we should be willing to sacrifice and compromise for God, and of course for love and for the greater good of the people in our community and the people around us. But in a relationship that calls you to constantly sacrifice and compromise probably isn't the healthiest relationship for you. And here is why. Love accepts you as you are. Love works with you as you get better. Love is patient with you. It's not judgmental, it's not critical, and it's not harmful. When we begin to get in these relationships where you're constantly bending over backwards, somebody is sacrificing their own individuality. Somebody is sacrificing their own personality. Somebody is sacrificing what they truly want, who they truly are, all to make a relationship work. And it's fine and dandy to go hard, be ride or die, do what you got to do for the relationship to make it work if God has called you to it. But one thing I understand about God is He's not going to call you to a thing and then have it kill you. So if God has put you in a relationship, then the sacrifices that you will be called to make will add to you. They won't pull from you. They won't take from you. Because at the end of the day, God never came to subtract from us. He told us that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But God comes to constantly give. He gives us eternal life. He gives us life more abundantly. He gave His only Son. He gave His blood. I can go on and on. But the point I'm making here is when we get in the pattern of compromising, maybe we've had to compromise who we were to please our parents. Maybe it's another relationship from our past. Maybe it's a school. There are a lot of schools that have a lot of criteria and restrictions, and they judge you and grade you and rank you in these systems, and they put kids against each other, and that forms a root of I'm not good enough within people. And when people don't feel like they're good enough, they don't choose the right relationships. So all of this really ties in to self-love, and I talk about self-love on every single video because without it, what do you have? If you're not willing to love yourself, then you're constantly going to compromise to get the love of somebody else. And I'm telling you, if you got to compromise to get it, it's not love. It's not. All right. So the tips that I'm going to give you, I share them every single video because I believe these are three principles that when you put into action, you can see victory in any area. The first one is going to be make your yes, yes, make your no, no. Set your boundaries. When you meet an individual, and ladies, you know I'm talking to you. These men, they come at us and they tell us how we're so different from anybody they've ever met. And it's just something about you. And I usually don't do this, but for you, I'm going to do it. And it's just something, I just got to see you. I miss you already. Even though I just met you, I feel like I can't live without you. You know how they do. They come in, they talk fast. They say a lot at one time without ever really saying anything. They give you all the words with no action. They may say, I like you, I want you, but at the same time, they're telling you, I'm not ready for commitment. I don't want to be tied down. I just want to see what happens. I want you to make your yes, yes, and your no, no. If you are a woman who desires to be married, point blank, period, you are not anybody's girlfriend. You're not anybody's boo, jump off, side piece, midnight, snack, weekend, any other name you want to throw out there. You either are a wife or you're not. You either aspire to be or you don't. But we cannot tiptoe on both sides of the line and then blame the people that we date for the reason that we're not married. Oh, I'm not married because he didn't see a wife in me. He didn't see a wife in you because you allowed him to treat you as a girlfriend. All right? So make your yes, yes, your no, no. Set your boundaries. Fellas, I hope that there are some gentlemen watching this video. And more than anything, I want you to know it is your responsibility and your pleasure. You get to chase the woman. But I need you to understand it's not your job to chase every woman, okay? It's not your job to be out here distracting and trying to captivate every woman that you see just to see what it tastes like, what it feel like, what it do. You know what I mean? You don't have to sample everything. You are precious. You are a prize even in yourself. You are not just a penis. You are not just a paycheck. So I need you to have more self-respect and more self-control because there is one woman, I believe, in this earth for every man. And she may not be the perfect woman, in the sense that everything is put together and everything is just all right. But I do believe that she is placed on this earth to love you. You are placed on this earth to love her. And if you give yourself away before you meet, it's unfair to the both of you. So to men and women, make your yes, yes, and your no, no. Stop giving yourself away. Number two, it's always going to be identity. It's always going to be know who you are. Remember who you are. Have integrity. It's always going to be wrapped around being true to yourself, right? And it goes back again to you make your yes, yes, make your no, no. We have to be consistent and intentional. The word I use in most videos is be intentional because when you have your why in order, everything else flows. That's just how it goes. When I know why I'm on this path, when I know why I'm doing this video, it makes it easier to stay on topic. I don't have to go on a million different tangents because I'm not trying to prove a million different points. I have one point in this video, and that one point is that you deserve to be somebody's everything. You deserve everything from someone. You deserve commitment and love, consistency. You deserve to be met where you are and to be matched. That is what you deserve. And that is the topic of this video. And because it is the topic, that's the subject I'm staying on. And I'm saying that to say, when we are intentional and when we are true to our identity, there is no question. It's so much easier to walk away from toxicity. It's so much easier to close the door on things that don't suit us. Because at the end of the day, we have less time to waste. Any day, any moment could be your last. And if we are constantly tangling ourselves up with relationships just for the sake of not being alone, just for the sake of having a date, just for the sake of having some sex, what are you really doing to your true identity? When you show up at your destination point and you get there and you got a million different people attached to you through soul ties or through having all these different babies or all the different situations we put ourselves in relationships, debt, mortgages, all these commitments we make, be real. When we get to our destination, we got all this stuff attached to us. What if we can't get through the door? What if the door is carved to fit just you as you are? And I want you to understand the person. This is the last point I'm making. Be patient, because the person that is truly meant to be in your life is going to fit. It's not going to be I got to change to be with them. I got to get ready. I got to get better. No, that's just it. And that's why I believe in the one person for everybody. It may not be only one. I think you could be compatible with a few different people. But the reason I believe every one person should have one person, only one person, is because you get the beautiful chance to have all of what someone is and give them all of what you are. You get to have your flaws and theirs. You get to have your perks and theirs. They get to see stuff about you that no one else does. You get to see things about them that no one else does. It's a constant exchange. But if you give yourself away, or if you fail to get to know yourself, or if you constantly compromise, or if you're too in a hurry and you neglect patience and you don't take the opportunity to wait, then you get yourself in trouble. And you'll end up casting your pearls before swine. They'll trample all over them. Then they'll turn and talk about you, step all over you, tell you what you're not. And that's the situation a lot of us find ourselves in after we've been in the dating world for a few years. You begin questioning, am I good enough? Did I do something wrong? Do they not like me? Why don't people like me? Am I ever going to get married? Nobody wants me. We begin to go through these cycles. And it's not because you did anything wrong per se. It's not because anything is wrong with you. The only thing wrong is that we make bad decisions. So I am here to help you make a little bit better of a decision next time, okay? I want you to remember to be intentional. I want you to remember to be consistent. Keep your yes a yes and your no a no. And I want to encourage you, be patient. They that wait upon the Lord, he shall renew your strength. And where that applies to dating, it means he will help you through those lonely nights. He will get you through. He will provide so that you can go on dates, so that you can go to concerts or festivals or whatever it is you want to go to. You don't have to be booed up, dadu, to have fun and to be in love and to be in joy. And I want to encourage you as I leave you, as I close this video, live in love. When you live in love, you don't have to have a spouse in order to be loved, because you're in love. Being in love is not about the kisses and the roses and all the things we see on Nicholas Sparks movies. Being in love is walking in love, living in love, speaking in love, choosing to go in love, to go forth in love, to believe in love, to become love, to aspire to love. It's not even about directing it at one specific person. It's about directing it at everything in the atmosphere, because it comes from God and he created everything in the atmosphere. All right. I am Erica I Am, and this has been another episode of The Bachelorette Diaries. I'm so excited to have you here with me, and I hope you understand now. You don't have to chase anybody. You don't have to have anybody's crumbs or anybody's leftovers, and you are worth so much more than somebody who is emotionally unavailable. So cut off the connection, block the number, stop answering the phone call, do what you got to do, because it is your time to live in love. Thank you for watching.